The fight to save and preserve land that may have been the burial ground for hundreds of enslaved and free Black Marylanders has been put on hold. The advocacy group, Bethesda African Cemetery Coalition, or BACC, has been fighting to keep this historic cemetery preserved since 2017, although some portions already sit under an apartment building and a parking lot along River Road. Our Lionel Donovan sat in on a hearing and has this update from the Montgomery County Courthouse in Rock.
And we promise that we'll keep on fighting and fighting and fighting.
And Reverend Segun Adebayo has tried to keep that promise. He helped start the Bethesda African Cemetery Coalition with the goal to preserve the burial site known as the Moses African Cemetery. Today, a Montgomery County judge declared that the advocacy group would have until next February. Adebayo says the site was first desecrated back in the 60s during a time when Black residents living in the area were being displaced.
They didn't have the resources or even the atmosphere for them to bring a case against powerful developers in 60s, 70s Montgomery County. So it fell to us.
The advocacy group has tried to save as much of the grounds as possible and has since filed lawsuits against the developers, Bethesda self-storage owners, citing negligence. Today, the court heard from the attorney representing the developers. The attorney called for the suit against the storage company to be dismissed. He claimed that 3 archaeologists were hired to go through the site and no human remains were found.
My client is just trying to make productive use of its land, and this group is standing in the way of that with no indication that our property was ever used as a burial ground or that there are any human remains on it.
However, BACC's attorneys argued that the group found funeral objects consistent with African American cemeteries.
Save Moses Cemetery! Save Moses Cemetery!
They also say more would have been found if the burial site wasn't disturbed so quickly. In the end, Adebayo says he's glad the judge has given his group the time they need to prove their case.
God has sustained us and given us the opportunity that we will fight for them because they are unable to fight for themselves.
Lionel Donovan, WUSA 9.